Hello traders, welcome to today's video, Monday the 22nd of January 2024. This is your Bitcoin update. So Bitcoin today looking pretty weak, it has to be said. We did get the move down on Friday, Thursday and Friday last week, where we were thinking of this as being the potential for the kind of like you put in a little range, you get your manipulation, and then you can start to see some expansion, like a bit of a reversal, but there was no follow through after this low that got put in. And I think the reason being for that is just liquidity wasn't taken. So if we have a look at like the spot chart, there we just like front run those lows this time on a couple of occasions without taking out those lows. And it's just one of those where there's just not really the clear trade at this stage. The clearer trade for me is to either wait for lower or to wait for a significant sign of strength that starts to get a bit of continuation, right? So right now, how I'm looking at this at the moment is I'm in a short. So as we had, so basically from last week, okay, there was the nice impulse that happened, kind of a bit of a random point. It just suddenly decided to reverse. At that stage, you were looking at this as being like, okay, can it hold this support here and maybe dip into that over Asia session and then get some continuation into the previous week POC, maybe up towards previous week high, maybe up towards those anchored VWAPs. But ultimately, as soon as that was lost, a relatively straightforward short to get into, with target being basically the previous week lows and obviously the range lows there. Now, once again, we do appear to be bouncing right at like a little bit of a front run here, which is just kind of the way the market is right now. Okay, we've seen this happen last week, obviously, where there was that low that got put in, there was a deep retrace, and then it eventually came up to take the highs. Can we be looking at something here where it does reverse, come back into those previous week POC, and then we can look for a continuation lower? For myself, like if this does reclaim that weekly open, then yeah, I do think that this has the potential to squeeze, and then we might see some further momentum. I'll show you in just a second the liquidity charts, which we can see. Actually, I'll bring this up right now because I've just done it. If I expand this, there we go. So yeah, we can see that there's a big old cluster of potential liquidations here on Bitcoin if there can be some bullish momentum here. And what we can also see is the open interest is starting to increase, with a lot of short positions starting to open down here, creating some kind of divergence, okay, with the delta being lower, price managing to maintain a higher low at this stage, similar to what we saw last week. And that could be the potential for there to be trap shorts within this area at the bottom of these candles here that can then start to get squeezed out. So we've seen already open interest starting to drop on these last two candles, as any shorts that have been trapped after getting these liquidations, you get a bunch of short positions that enter. Is this going to at that point reverse? It would have been, I know French Bull, I know a couple of other people within the crew took a long this morning, basically with this previous week low being the invalidation. It makes it a very cheap trade, okay? Your invalidation is so close, so it makes sense to try and take a scalp long at the very least, and then see if this can get a little bit more momentum. But overall, yeah, for myself, looking at a bit more downside at the moment. And I think that also coincides with a cooling off of the entire market. Okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum had that big breakout last week, but again, needs to cool off. And if we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance, then it's just been stable. Okay, a couple of weeks of just being very, very stable. Is Bitcoin dominance going to see a bit of a rise as the altcoins start to chill out a little bit, and as Bitcoin starts to chill out as well? Still looking at this overall as just being one big range, where if we are to drop lower, down towards about that 38,800 area would be like perfect for myself. I do think just a sweep of the lows could be a little bit of a crowded trade. So if it does drop a little bit lower to 38,800, that for me would be a good indication of like maybe looking for a long position to take that up towards 44 to 46k. And then we just have to wait and see from that point, like how does it hold within this range? Are you going to go and push towards the highs, or are we going to drop down and see that eventual drop down towards about 32, which for me would be the time where I go like, yeah, that is like the big dip. That's where I'm looking to buy. Overall, yeah, just remaining patient, okay? As conditions are like this, there will be a focus for myself going back into the legacy markets now that crypto is just cooling off. So maybe some NASDAQ updates, maybe while I'm doing the live streams, there'll be a bit more NASDAQ and legacy market trading once again. And also just, waiting for opportunities for deeper retraces on a lot of altcoins. So stink bid time if we are to get a bit more of a capitulation. And in general, even if Bitcoin rises, we can see that Bitcoin dominance start to rise with it, and just the altcoins cool off because we've had quite a mad alt run over the past few weeks. Now, doesn't mean I'm bearish at all. I do think this continues throughout the rest of the year, but like the main plan had been, if anyone remembers the video that I posted on the first of the month, the first day of the year, then the overall plan was to come and take out the previous year highs, was to hit that 618, was to hit that value area high of the last, because remember, we were like 1st of January, we were down here, we were looking for this move up, and then we were looking for a bearish, not bearish, okay, but a cool down throughout Q2 to throughout Q1 to Q2, and then through the latter parts of the year, we start to go for a big run again. So still continuing with that plan. If there is to be a big drop here, then this looks like 32k, looks like the ultimate area. However, if this holds 38, then no reason why we can't continue to go higher after that. So that is everything. Thank you very much for watching. I will continue to update as and when is necessary. And have a great day. I'll see you on the live streams. And cheers. Bye-bye.